Next up, at UFC 300, we have the featured fight of the evening, the first of 3 title fights. We have Justin Gaethje fighting Max Holloway for the BMF belt. Here's a quick history lesson on the BMF belt. I'm not going to spend a ton of time here, but this belt was invented at UFC 244. The very first time they unveiled this belt was at UFC 244, and it was Jorge Masvidal versus Nate Diaz. And the reason they invented this belt...
Wait, why don't you just show it?
Get it up there. I do have it. Please hold.
There you go. Sweet tats, bro.
Thanks so much. The reason they invented this belt, and anybody wondering what this is, Dr. Y, the one who's been donating all night long, bought us this belt, $1,000 replica belt from the UFC website. Bought us this. Solid. This is what, 15, 20 pounds? Like, it's pretty heavy. Bought us this belt, so when Jacob and I fought, the winner got to keep the belt. You can tell who won. Right here on the side, you're going to see 244. This was unveiled at UFC 244. On this side, you're going to see 500. That's UFC. That was the 500th UFC event. What are we laughing at?
Don't put it down. People want to see you try it on.
I don't have that kind of time, Jacob. We're 2 hours into this.
If you guys don't know, that's a 55-inch belt that Angelo cannot put on.
Okay. Anyway, they created this belt for that fight because of 2 things. One, well, really only one reason, and they needed a belt for the main event. The main event of a Madison Square Garden card was not a title fight. So they invented the BMF, the baddest motherfucker belt. And it made sense. It was George Masvidal, the guy that slapped Leon Edwards backstage for talking shit. Nate Diaz, the guy that will slap anybody at any time for any reason. And it made sense. But at the time, they said this belt would never be defended. It's a one and done thing. There's no lineage. It doesn't get defended. And since then, Jorge Masvidal went on to fight 5-6 times. Never once was the BMF belt on the line. Jorge Masvidal retires, and then they said, you know what? The belt does need lineage. It'll be Dustin Poirier versus Justin Gaethje. 2 of the nicest guys. Justin Gaethje wins the belt, and now 2 even nicer people are somehow defending this. So now, apparently, every single time Justin Gaethje fights, or Max Holloway, they will be defending this belt. It's kind of a fugazi thing that they slapped together to just, for some fun years ago, and then now they slapped it together again to get 3 title fights on UFC 300. Either way, we get a cool 5-round featured fight that should be some fun. We got Justin Gaethje taking on Max Holloway. Justin Gaethje, 25-4 overall, 3-2 in his last 5. He is coming off that head kick knockout win over Dustin Poirier to win the belt, taking on Max Holloway. 25-7 overall, 4-1 in his last 5. He's coming off that retirement win over the Korean Zombie. 2 strikers. Justin Gaethje actually has college wrestling experience, doesn't use it very often at all. He did take down Rafael Fiziev in that fight. That was the first takedown he had shot in his entire UFC tenure. But he is a college wrestler. He hits crazy hard. There are memes floating around of every single person that Justin Gaethje fought and what their face looked like after the fight. He absolutely turns people's faces into hamburger meat because of the insane power. He has his own insane chin. He lands at 7 significant strikes per minute and somehow is hit with more strikes. He somehow has a negative striking differential even at that volume. Taking on Max Holloway. Longtime featherweight champion of the world. He is coming up to lightweight for the second time. The first time, he lost to Dustin Poirier. This time, it's for the BMF belt. When they asked him, why are you moving up? He said, if in this sport, if you sit around and wait, opportunities pass you by. So he's moving up. Max Holloway, non-stop busy striker. Multiple records in the UFC for largest significant strike differentials. Most significant strikes landed in a fight. It is insane the volume that this guy puts up. And it's because he also has a granite chin. And he's just pepper, just throwing strikes out there all day, every day. He has nowhere near the power that Justin Gaethje has, but he's far more accurate, far more defensively sound. I do think Justin Gaethje wins this fight, but I think it's literally only because of the power and the damage. I don't think he's going to stop Max Holloway, but I do think for every 3 strikes that Max lands is like 1 strike from Justin. And the stats might literally look like this. This fight might look like Chito Vera versus Rob Font. It's sort of a deep cut there, but if you go back and watch that fight, Rob Font outstruck Chito Vera. He landed 2-1, But Cheeto landed with far more power, had him rocked a few times, and had Rob's face just a mess. I think that's what this fight looks like. I think Max Holloway's the better striker, the cleaner striker. I think he outstrikes Justin Gaethje, but the power and the damage will be too much, and Justin will get a decision here. Justin's my pick. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Max is the better striker. He's the better striker. Right? He's the better striker. It's going to be a mostly striking matchup. He's going to be the better striker. I mean, these guys are going to be shooting takedowns. These guys are going to be grappling. They're going to stand in there. They're going to box. And I would urge people to go back and watch that Dustin Poirier fight. Because I think the general consensus and what people remember is, oh, Max went to 155, got the shit beat out of him. Right? I mean, he really couldn't hang with 155. He couldn't hang with Dustin. And early in that fight, you could see that he was affected by the 155 power a little bit. Right, a little bit more than his 145 fights against a guy like Volk. I would say that Dustin is a much better boxer than Justin Gaethje. So when Max was doing his in the pocket thing, Dustin can hang with pretty much anybody in the boxing. Where Justin is a little bit more outside, a little bit more wild, a little bit, I don't want to say telegraph because he's a good striker in his own right. I mean, he went up against Fiziev and really went toe to toe with Fiziev. And Fiziev is a really good striker. Fiziev brawled a little bit too much.
Yeah, he abandoned his technique in that.
But
fight.
Max Holloway in the pocket versus Dustin was still getting hit. Where against Justin, I think he's going to have a little bit more success. 5-round fight. I mean, I'm looking at the stats too. And the reason I go back and watch the Dustin Poirier fight is he outstruck Dustin Poirier in 4 of the 5 rounds. I know it was a 49-46 decision. A lot of it was because of the damage that Dustin was able to inflict. Holloway staying around a little bit too much. He outstruck Dustin. He outstruck him 4 of the 5 rounds. In this fight against a guy like Justin, not only do I think that he can have the volume and the wherewithal to stay out of danger and be the better striker, but Dustin is more built for a 5-round striking match. He can do that. 5-round striking, boom, easy peasy. Justin will have kind of these adrenaline dumps, right? He will put some fucking shit behind his shots. And when he starts gassing, you could see he starts gassing. And not only does he start gassing, he's not a quitter, right? I don't want to act like Justin's like a fucking gonna quit in this fight or whatever. But when he starts gassing, he gets even more desperate. And in that Khabib fight, he came in very fired up in that Khabib fight. And he said that he made a mistake, with the emotions. He was fucking tired after that. He was getting outstruck by Khabib and was getting fucking tired as shit after 1 round. And now you have Max Holloway in front of you. Max Holloway has shown that he can take the damage. Guess who hasn't taken the damage in the past? Justin Gaethje. He's been shinned. He's been put out, not Max Holloway. So this whole notion of Max Holloway coming in and being, he's going to get destroyed. He's going to get knocked out. I've seen people being like, Max Holloway's on the decline. He's not the same guy anymore. Motherfuckers, his last fight, he fucking destroyed Zombie. And people go, it was Zombie, dude. He fucking destroyed him. He was dominating that fight to a point where he tried to just submit Zombie because he felt bad. He didn't want to knock him out in front of his home fans. He said, let me try to submit this guy. And he almost submitted this guy. I wouldn't be surprised if Justin starts mixing some takedowns because he's starting to get tired. And Max Holloway is live for a submission. He's very live in those scrambles. People underestimate his scrambling abilities. Max Holloway, I think, is the better striker. I think he's got the volume to wear down a guy like Justin. Maybe you can find a late finish. And I think he's going to win this fight. He's a better striker.
I agree with almost everything that you said. I think the Rob Font Cheeto Vera comparison I made is solid. No, do you think that was a good comparison? I thought that was pretty good. Rob Font outstruck him. He was the better striker.
Yeah, but people don't hurt Max like Rob was getting hurt in that fight.
But Max has never been hit by somebody who hits as hard as Justin, so we don't know. He might not get hurt.
Dustin hits just as hard as anybody.
Not as hard as Justin.
Yeah, I would beg to differ. I think he does. He knocked him out already with the hands. He didn't need a head kick.
Early in his career, TKO.
Okay, well,
TKO.
He knocked his ass out. So,
yeah, I mean, I agree. Max is the better striker. The volume certainly could be a problem. I just think Justin wins with. He's just going to do a little bit more damage, and as we've seen in Vegas, the only thing anybody gives a shit about lately is your face bleeding. But Max can certainly win this fight. And the odds, so you're going to see the line open at minus 140, and now it's wide, minus 163. It looks like it's widening. It's actually tightening because just the other day, Justin Gaethje was minus 2 something. And so it's slowly coming back. Yeah. Oh, okay. So, yeah, it's tightening, even though from the opening odds, it's wider, but it is tightening a bit. And I think people are looking at it objectively, and they're like, all right, Justin does hit hard. But Max is still Max, and when have we seen Max
and he's fucking
chinny and soft?
And I'm telling you right now, too, this isn't, and you're going to hear it in the press conference probably, and you're going to see it this week. This isn't a typical Max, man. Max is typically that fun-loving Hawaiian dude. This guy's kind of pissed off because he's heard all the fucking noise. He's heard everyone, and he's talked about it, about people saying he's got no chance, and what are you doing at 155, and all this stuff. And he's saying, listen, if you want to be that fucking guy, you have to take fights like this. This is what being a fucking fighter is all about. This is what being a real fucking bad motherfucker champion is all about. When these opportunities come up, it doesn't matter who it is, what weight class, you fucking take it and you prove everybody wrong. And he's got a little different demeanor this camp.
I'll be rooting for him. I'll be rooting for him.
Gaethje's going to kick his legs. Fuck that shit. Max has good footwork. He can fight from both stances.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that. Literally, the damage is the only thing. I think Max will outland and outstrike Justin, but Justin strikes 3-1 damage, and then that's what'll happen. But either way, this should be a good fight. I am looking forward to it. $8,800 in DraftKings, $7,400 in DraftKings. It gets tricky because it is a 5-round fight, and both of these guys land at insane volume. You don't even need wrestling for these guys to cover their salaries. My recommendation are, if you are confident in Justin, have him in your DraftKings lineup. If you're confident in Max, have him in his. Whoever wins will score well, even without a finish. You have 25 minutes, and they're landing 7 significant strikes per minute, each of them. So I think it scores well.
And if you like the age thing, Justin is going to be 36 years old this year.
Isn't it funny that Max Holloway's the younger fighter in this matchup?
31. The dude's in the prime of his fucking life. He looks great, too. I don't know if you've seen the fucking... I'll pull up a picture here, but...
Well, I actually had this comment pinned because I was going to say exactly what you're saying, that it's nuts that he's the younger fighter here. Yeah, he looks great. Put on an actual good 10 pounds.
Yeah, I mean, he's fucking... Jesus Christ. Max looks locked in, huh?
Well, if you want to unlock all of Jacob's picks and bets on this fight, all of my picks and bets on this fight, all of Artem, the AI, the artificial intelligence that we have picking fights, if you want to unlock all of that as well as the tools and everything else, it's only $10 a month for every single thing that we do in one beautiful package. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top. We have 2 super chats. $1.99 from Parker. He said, do any books offer doctor stoppage as a prop? That is just under TKO. TKO, it's either KO, TKO. That's the prop bet. It doesn't distinguish between...
I think he wants something.
I understand what he's saying, but so...
For like
the answer,
9,000 odds or something.
Yeah, the answer is nobody offers specifically doctor stoppage. They just group it under a TKO. So whether it's a doctor stoppage, TKO, referee, whatever it is, injury, it's just in there as that. And $2 from VHS. Jacob already addressed this, saying Gaethje will take his legs. Max will get battered. Jacob disagrees.
When's the last time you saw who has Gaethje really fucked up with leg kicks lately?
It has been a while, but he does get to hang on to that reputation for a while for some reason.
I mean, he definitely does have some good ones or whatever. And I wouldn't not. He's probably going to land a few or whatever, but it's not like it's anything too crazy.
Before you go, let me give you $50. Anybody who goes to WeWantPicks.com/bets and signs up with any one of our affiliate partners gets $50 as a thank you. Use the link, sign up, make a deposit. We send you $50 as a thank you.